All right, it's 3 p.m. and good afternoon, everyone. We are delighted to have you join us as we kick off another insightful session on connecting the dots. First and foremost, we extend our gratitude to our esteemed speakers for their participation in this panel discussion. Vivekanand Kadukuntla, Learning Lead at Pegasystems; Purnima Srinivasan, Vice President HR at Testvagram Technologies; Srinath Gururaja Rao, ex-Senior VP HR at Simple Energy; and Dr. Soumya Badkayan Datta, Vice President, Corporate Strategy HR and IR at Gold Star Jewelry Private Limited. A warm welcome to all. HRA welcomes you all to the session on an insightful topic, the role of artificial intelligence in transforming corporate growth and innovation. To know more about HRA and its events, I would request all our participants to visit the link and details posted in the chat window. I am pleased to introduce our moderator for today's session, Dr. Soumya Badgayan Datta, who will be guiding us through the discussion with insight and expertise. Dr. Soumya Badgayan Datta is a seasonal panel moderator and HR leader with 20 plus years of experience driving strategic transformation. Known for her sharp insights and inclusive approach, she has moderated high impact discussions across 250 plus platforms. With dual PhDs in e-commerce and psychology, she blends academic depth with business acumen. A world record holder, NASCOM mentor, and professor of practice, Dr. Somya creates space for bold ideas, diverse voices, and actionable outcomes. To know more about her, you can follow her on LinkedIn. The link for the same has been shared in the chat window. We are excited to have her moderate this very relevant discussion today. Thank you, Soumya.
Thank you so much, Faisal. That was a very interesting introduction. अमूमन तो पता ही नहीं चलता है कि हमने क्या किया हुआ है. Thanks for these introductory things. कि पता चलता है कि अरे वाह हमने इतना सब लाइफ में किया हुआ है. So just to bring everyone and get everyone on the spotlight once again, here's introducing three lovely human beings who have come to share their knowledge with us. Starting with, in no particular order, is Vivek Ji. Vivek is a seasoned learning and development leader with over 2 decades of experience across global organizations. As the learning lead at Pegasus Systems, he drives innovative, high impact learning strategies that empower teams across regions. A certified change leader and recent graduate of prestigious Future CHRO program at ISB, Vivek is passionate about building a culture of continuous learning and unlocking human potential through purposeful development. Here's a huge round of applause for Mr. Vivek, and his LinkedIn profile is for all of us to click and connect and learn from him.
Thank you, Dr. Soumya. Appreciate the introduction.
Sure, thank you. The next is another dynamic leader, Purnima, who is a distinguished HR leader with more than 20 years of experience in the industry. Celebrated as champion of people, she excels in cultivating high performance teams while emphasizing employee wellness, very important, and creating a people centric workplace. Her efforts in promoting equity within the workplace is significantly to contribute to both individual and organizational success. Her contributions have earned her accolades across the Global HR Transformation Excellence Award from HRST in 2024 and recognition as CHRO 2024 by CXO Lanes. Another round of applause for our very dynamic Purnima. Her
Thank you
LinkedIn
so much, Soumya.
profile is there for all of us again to connect with her and see how we can become the next CHRO award winners. The next is, and Purnima, please keep guiding us. So, next in line is Srinath. Srinath is a seasoned HR leader with 25 years of diverse experience across manufacturing, IT, telecom, media, and banking sectors. Wow. He has held leadership roles at renowned organizations, including Tech Mahindra, Capgemini, Nextwell Inc., where he consistently drove high impact HR strategies and business aligned transformation. Most recently, he served as Senior Vice President HR at Simple Energy, where he led digital HR innovation, leadership development, and workforce planning. Srinath has been recognized by Forbes, the Great Manager Institute, the World HRD Congress, and Mercer for excellence in AI driven HR practices. He has also authored 6 technology IPs. Oh my, and remains committed to building agile, high performing cultures through strategic people leadership. There's a whole lot to learn from the three of us, but I feel there is about more than 100 years of experience amongst the four, he included, in this. And if we, take into context the very platform where we are speaking, there are many more professionals therein. Srinath's, again, link can be found in the description and we can connect and, of course, see how we can get into such diverse industries and still prove our mettle there. So thank you and welcome to all of us for this wonderful session. Welcome to all my guests. So let's rock it, guys, and let's give our audience something that they can take back home with them. So when Faisal came up and said, we are going to give you a topic on artificial intelligence, I said, बाप kitna boring topic hai, हर कोई इस बारे में बात कर रहा है. So why you are again giving me this rubber band to stretch and stretch and stretch? And then I thought, नहीं यार, it's become a chewing gum जिसके अंदर से sweetness चला गया है. तो बहुत बात हो गई यार, AI. लोग real intelligence तो use नहीं कर रहे, artificial की क्या बात है? But then we came across and I said कि चलो, let's start talking about it. And then I was thinking, how can we, bring a whole context to this? And I thought, what if I told you that the most creative member of your organization doesn't even take coffee breaks, doesn't gossip, doesn't take any sick leaves planned at his or her end and unplanned at our end as leaders? And when I'm thinking about this, I said, yes, we are talking about artificial intelligence. What a nice co-worker to have in the team. It's not just a tool, but as a transformational force, as how we can redefine, to innovate, to grow, and lead the corporate world. It's a very fascinating topic for me because I am like nowadays in the Kumbh Mela, people are giving those snans with an artificial AI pictures, aajao picture de do, snan kar lo, aarti le lo, and when you see all these beads around, you know what I'm talking about. But nonetheless, for years we saw AI as something futuristic. We all remember the movies Terminator and Genesis and things like that. And more recently, the book Sapiens. Something for the labs, scientists, and science fictions. But today, AI has crept up in our day-to-day lives. Now, no longer do you get the menu card. You get experiencing or experiential dining. सारी चीजें हम play कर सकते हैं on our tables and things like that. So it's not just supporting growth; it's accelerating it. It is reshaping it, and it's daring us to think beyond what we could have thought. अब इधर पे मेरी सोच बंद हो गई, तो मैं सोचा 3 experts से पूछ लेती हूँ, because that's how it will add to my knowledge. So the way that I'm looking at, and this I would really love to pose to Purnima, how do you think AI is reshaping the traditional growth strategies for corporates across industries? Because अभी तक के पूर्णिमा what I was thinking is बैठ जाते हैं प्लान बना लेते हैं फरवरी में देते अरे भाई लास्ट ईयर इतना किया था 20+ ग्रोथ कर लो इतने आदमी भर दो मैन प्लान and you know the whole game. Now how do you think AI can help support these traditional growth strategies? Over to you, Purnima.
Thank you, Soumya. I mean, I agree with you completely on what is happening with the AI, right? It has become a fascinating word in every industry, every nook and corner, every kid to adults, working professionals. Everybody is like, okay, AI karte, AI karte. I mean, what is AI? It is
True.
not. It's not a fancy technology or a niche technology anymore. It is
Bilkul.
something
Absolutely.
which is inevitable that everybody will have to kind of make sure that you know about it. And how it is
Yes.
going to impact industry is, it's not just impact, I should be calling it a revolution, basically.
Right.
Everybody will have to kind of adopt it. And thinking on how it can actually beneficial the industry, I think one thing that is very evident is the uh, predictive insights that AI can give, or the advanced predictive insights that AI can provide to all industries is something that is going to kind of revolutionize all the industries. So traditionally, if you see
Right.
businesses would rely upon historical data, market research, or expert opinion on all the strategic planning.
Right.
But
Right.
and most of this will lead only to reactive decisions. Abhi kar lete hain, take the expert. You don't know what is going to impact real time for your industry, and you follow somebody
True.
else who's done that, and then there are repercussions. फिर सोचते हो, okay, this is something we shouldn't have done. But I think that is something
True.
AI is going to predict for you, saying if you take this decision, what is going to be the repercussions of it? If you take the plan B, what is going to be the repercussions for it? I think decision making is going to be enhanced because of these predictive insights. Like if you,
Beautiful.
sorry?
I'm saying beautiful. Nice thought. Yeah.
So it's like if you see that AI will be able to analyze like massive data real time, like in minutes.
Yes.
So this is going to be a very strong kind of asset or a tool for every industry to kind of adopt.
True.
And second, I can think about is personalization, basically enhanced personalization. So if you see from customer experience or from employee experience, I think AI is going to get the personal, it's going to have this hyper personalization at scale. So if you kind of analyze individual preferences, purchasing behaviors, or say even employees, for example. So you have AI which conducts or checks the pulse of all employees based on their issues. It nudges, and if you choose the questions or if you choose the answers, the questions for you, the upcoming questions is modified in the way that you choose the answers. So these are something that is going to make a huge impact. And this will definitely increase, employee satisfaction or customer satisfaction and enhance the brand loyalty. And other than this, I think other than this, it goes without saying that is the operational efficiency and automation of all the process, the routine task. I think all of that is already done. All the companies are like, it's inevitable for them to adopt it. And this is saving a lot of time and increase or giving time for creative efficiency, especially for HR.
Absolutely.
That is what.
Absolutely. Beautifully put into perspective. So, of course, yes, this is what we are seeing, that it can do a lot of predictive analytics for all of us. It can give personalization, and of course, thereby giving us an enhanced, employee and customer satisfaction that we all would talk about. Employee also is a customer to, the organization where the person works. That's how we see it. So I would say that there are pros and cons to it, but I wanted to understand from Srinath, from you, that what are the long-term competitive advantages that companies can gain by embedding AI into their innovative ecosystems. This is something where people are really apprehensive about, with the cloud data and the hosting of everything. So over to you, since you are from the tech world. I guess no one else better to answer this than you. Over to you, Srinath. You're on mute, Srinath. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Thank you, Soumya,
Yes,
and
please.
thanks to HRI for bringing this wonderful session together again. Uh, Talking about embedding, incorporating AI into day-to-day affairs and making it a competitive advantage in a business is
Right.
very vital today. It's not just have it is a necessity. Some years back, we heard Mukesh Bhai say from Reliance, data is the new oil. Uh, Today,
Right.
AI is the new refinery, right? It is where products
I
are
love
getting
this.
embedded into the mainstream agenda of organizations and services and products. So primarily, there are
Right.
four pillars that augment this entire landscape in terms of embedding innovation and growth using AI. What it brings to the table is speed and precision. If you look at any, for example, a pharma organization today, the costs of R&D are huge, right? It is one of the significant cost factors in developing a complete product and rolling it out in the market. If you go back to the scenario of COVID and how the vaccines were made, probably if AI was more mature at that point of time as a data model, we could have avoided some of the significant side effects that could have that is playing out today, which we hear a lot of noise about that. So therefore, speed and precision, you could become a market ninja by just employing certain aspects of AI into the processes that we weave. Second one is hyper personalization. I think Purnima brought it out beautifully. Take, for example, today you could customize your shoes to the size, to the shape of your feet, to the colors, to the design, to the softness of the cushion. Everything can be customized, and you can order a shoes which is perfectly fit for your foot. Few years back, this was impossible. Even now, without AI, augmented reality, this is probably just a wish, right? But today it is a product scape. If, for example, the best one is Lenskart, right? You could put up your face on the screen
Right.
and the lenses, the frames change. I think that's the one of the
Bilkul.
wonderful use cases of AI and hyper personalization.
Yes.
Uh, Third pillar is fail fast and learn faster, right? You could
Correct.
simulate lots of data points in a matter of minutes and seconds and bring it out into your product streams to be able to make your products much faster, efficient, better, and competitively more prominent in the marketplace. Today, that is possible.
Correct.
Another significant one
Correct.
which we have experienced in our product, which we have developed a scooter in the electric vehicle segment, is to be able to gather the individual feedbacks of vehicle users and bring it back into our innovation and product cycles and prototype new aspects of features, the ability of the scooter, and enhance the functionality, right? If you look at, for every mile that a consumer clocks on our scooter, the data that flows back
Right.
helps improve the entire structure of the product itself. And that is a competitive advantage, which the competition has to really clock those miles to be able to augment. And that is possible through AI incorporation into the stream of things. I think these are the four significant aspects that I see that is engaging the businesses today in terms of bringing in the value and shaping up the growth and fueling innovation. I think the refinery of AI will churn out beautiful products and it will fuel the rocket of innovation for us.
Thank you so much, Srinath, for that beautiful take on this question. So, what I was also thinking of, that my mother had to undergo a knee replacement surgery,
Oh
and
yeah.
while there are these kind of artificial implants available, our orthopedic surgeon actually introduced us to a company which would actually take a prototype of the knee and make it into the titanium, exactly the same
Yes.
as to what would fit her needs. I was really amazed with this technology, and then there was someone who needed something as a valve in the heart, and that could also be done precision wise into that. Earlier, the valves were not that great, but in now I'm seeing more in the field of medicine that these things are coming up. However, coming back to the commoners and the people who are not from that kind of a highly technical field, when I'm seeing that, I would now go to Vivek since he's been quiet for some time. That how would you, get an organization's buy-in, and how can you create an organization that can have this culture that embraces and AI-driven experimentation and agility? So, how do you think that can happen? You know, uh,
Thank you, Dr.
Vivek,
Soumya,
over
for,
to you.
yeah, hope
Pleasure.
you're able to hear me
Yes.
fine.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am, Vivek.
Yeah, I think cultivating a culture that can help us to embrace the AI-driven agility or experimentation, it definitely needs a multifaceted approach. I don't think we'll be able to do that with one. But I can talk
Right,
about three elements that I think are really important for us to consider in this area. One,
right,
we should be able to empower smaller teams and autonomous teams to experiment with AI. Maybe they want to create their own AI or they want to leverage any of the existing tools or technologies that are available for us in the market. But is it possible for organizations to leverage that and see if they can make a difference? Like we have been
right.
talking about fail fast, let's say, like Srinath was talking about, or, the R&D related experimentation for that matter. Is it possible to leverage existing technology can be definitely considered as one of the facet. But it is also important to keep those teams small. And I think very recently, I was reading an article on Forbes that talks about the Amazon's two pizza teams. So the size of the team for us to successfully experiment, they say, is approximately, that you can feed with two pizzas. And because there are a lot
Right.
of advantages, yeah, a lot of advantages that can
Right,
really help us to, fast track that. They have the autonomy, they
right.
have the ownership, and reduces that
Yeah,
unnecessary
yeah,
meeting times,
yeah.
etc. So that's one. And why it can really work a smaller team to experiment and then see whether they can adapt is, of course, speed. They'll be able to focus on that one particular element as well scalability. If they succeed, I'm sure,
Correct,
yeah, moving it across the organization perhaps is going to be a much easier one. So that's the first one that I think is very important. Smaller teams, autonomous
correct.
teams continue to experiment, etc. The second element is, I think if we stand on the sidelines, the chances are the competition or the technology which is evolving will definitely continue its path, and we will definitely be left out. We'll be,
Mm-hmm,
remaining on the sidelines watching what's happening as well. So, is it
mm-hmm,
possible for us to embed AI into the daily activities and the workflows that we currently do? Can be another element that organizations should definitely embrace as a culture. For example, our organization, PEGA, this is one of the strategic initiatives and the goals for 2025. Everybody is
mm-hmm,
required to use these tools. We encourage everybody to, tap into as many tools as possible. We track the usage, we
mm-hmm.
measure the usage. We have about 19, 20 tools at this stage that are approved and more under evaluation. As the technology keeps popping up here and there, we try to tap into that and see how best we'll be able to leverage that. And in fact, we do
Correct.
have an entire Gen AI Academy, as we call it, with all the
Mm-hmm.
learning content that is related to Gen AI, which is available for all the employees to ensure that they formally, in a structured fashion, upskill and live up to the experimentation phase as well. So, using Gen AI or
Amazing.
AI,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, as part of our daily activities is the second element that can really help us to ensure that we cultivate that culture that we are referring to. And the third one, perhaps, is the leadership teams. They should be able to model the curiosity, that zeal to experiment, as well as a little bit of risk tolerance too. This definitely matters a lot because, in the context of AI adoption, let's say, the leadership team or the
Right,
top down approach, it kind of sets the tone for how innovation is perceived and practiced across the organization. If they hesitate, the
right,
organization hesitates. If they say, I'm
right.
experimenting, I may or may not be successful, but it is okay for us to move in that direction. I think that's the same message that will be percolating down the organization as well. And especially in Gen
Mm-hmm.
AI related areas, this risk-taking tolerance or curiosity can be all the more important because the outcomes are often uncertain. The technology is very promising, but the results, if you see, are still very tentative. Every prompt has to have the disclaimer and then say, Gen AI probably won't provide relevant information. So you need to ensure that the facts are cross-checked, etc. So given elements like that, curiosity and risk tolerance perhaps can be the third facet, which can really help us to cultivate that culture that we are talking about.
Okay. So that's fantastic take. That's an amazing take. In fact, I was wondering if Srinath, if I can come back to you, and if you could give us some really, some real nice examples on how AI can align with real human needs. So you did touch on this in your last answer, in your last question that I posed to you. But I would really love you to come up with some real life scenarios. What happens in the world of HR, and if you've come across any such examples, and if you can bring that flavor out, it would be really a great addition to the learnings that we are looking forward to. Over to you.
Awesome. I think, I have been, there's a wonderful question. Incorporating design thinking into aspects of AI brings in that human-centered approach. It pivots directly there where the impact is felt by the human beings, right? For example, for us, we run our, along with our people, and hence importance of that. And in an organization context, what we did, this is a very profound experiment, and which was a successful one. What we did was the traditional insurance aspects of renewal, claims, settlements, rejections, all of it. We had a relook at it, in our organizations that I worked, and this was close to about, and looked at how we renew it, what kinds of efforts go into it, and how can we better the entire scheme of things. So at that point of time, AI was still IBM Watson, which was, predicting, the models. And so we used our past 5 years of information in, in the medical claims for our employees and their kith and kin, and wanted to see what is the projection for the coming year in terms of repeated illness and non-repeatable illnesses, right? So it gave us a context of, yes, these are the repeatable illnesses and these are the non-repeatable illnesses. Of course, from the privacy data context, we removed all the, information which are private in nature. And from that data point, what we did is we went back to our this is the size of population I have, this is the spectrum of population I have, and how can you help me reduce the diseases which are illnesses which are repeatable in nature from the coming year. So what it did was it gave them a context to say, how can I engage better in terms of driving awareness, driving innovation, and driving engagement at the organization, so that all three stakeholders are winners here, right? One is the employee in terms of better health and well-being, to the employer via reduced costs and better engagement and better reduction in absenteeism and hence productivity and performance. Three, the insurance provider who has better profitability at the end of the year, right? So what we did was we went into the contractual stages and deployed that information to to engage our human beings much better and drive well-being and health. With that, we saw the double-digit absenteeisms reduced to single digits in the years, and also health and well-being became more customized. We had centers around the country, and we knew exactly what kind of illnesses are regular in what seasons in which city, right? So during Durga Puja, probably Calcutta had a higher rate of gastronomic problems, and in Bangalore it was more of backaches and orthopedic related ones because of the traffic. So we were able to drive engagement much higher and hence reduce. So this was possible because the AI was able to help us and tell us what are the repeatable illnesses and what are not. So the actual data that insurance providers usually use and never shared with the organization unless you demanded for it, this was not possible, right? So they use that to leverage and say, what, you've consumed premium to claims ratios 130%. hence your premium share will go up by X or 2X or 3X, right? So we were able to contain all of that and ensure that everybody is a winner here in the ecosystem. And this was possible because AI helped us with that data to say this is exactly what the problems are, and these are the engagements that you need to drive to reduce this. And we kind of customized it to the environments that we were in terms of demography. I think this is a beautiful example which all the HR leaders can carry back and ensure we drive innovation and people engagement much better.
Oh, I so love this example. I so love it. You've considered the regional part of it, the regionosity, the cultural aspect of it, and also, tying up all the ends together to see as to the predictiveness of how the pattern can be formed
Yes.
and yet get the maximum mileage from the insurer. How wonderful, and kudos to you and your team for doing such a fantastic job. This is an example that will stay with me. Thank you, Srinath, for sharing
Thank you,
that.
Soumya. Thank you.
I'm seeing
Thank you so much.
Purnima is ekdam quiet. So the next question I would pose to Purnima, that all that what Srinath was talking about, has to stem from a thought, and that thought is definitely from the leadership. It cannot happen that someone just dreams of it on one of the benches and yes, we are all there. We don't have those genies and we don't have those magical lamps anymore. So I would really come to you seeking this answer as to, will the future of corporate leadership require an AI literacy to some extent? As financial or digital literacy that we so want to see in our leaders, or it is just another of the fads that is just going to come and go. So what is your take on that, Purnima? Over to you.
Thank you, Soumya. So for me, I mean, this question, how I resonate is, asking me saying, will the leaders need leadership skills? So, I mean, it is that obvious.
How sweet. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because asking, saying, will the leaders need AI literacy means they would, I mean, need it as a basic requirement as of now. I mean, AI is no longer a niche technology anymore. It is not something that is an added advantage. It is a basic requirement.
Right.
Like how every leader needs leadership skills, they need to have AI acumen. Okay, and it basically a couple of things that will help them is to make better decisions. Making decisions is the leader's primary responsibility, right? No matter whichever level or whichever hierarchy the leader in. So it will help you to make informed decisions, which will actually help. If you don't kind of leverage this, you will have the risk of falling behind all the leaders or your own kind of business. And second thing I think they should kind of incorporate is, a I mean, there is a fancy word for it now called human-centered design integration. Basically, it's a collaboration of HI and AI, human intelligence and artificial intelligence. So what it means, you need to understand the pain points, the behaviors before, during, and after the implementation of AI. And for this, knowing what AI does, what is the capability is required for each and every leader who needs to kind of take it up. And I think every leader should develop a mindset that is a transformative mindset to be agile. So if you are resisting change, right, nobody is going to wait for you. I mean, if you are agile, you have agile mentality. Like you said, it has to come from top down. So if you are ready to learn new things, you are ready to learn this, I think the entire organization will be ready to learn this. So AI goes with its fundamental transformation that will happen everywhere. So just like financial or digital literacy, AI literacy is the basic requirement of every organization. And it is the whole and sole responsibility of the leader to make sure that every person in or every employee in your organization knows how to use AI so that you can leverage it.
Super. So I do second you by saying that it is no longer It's not that something that someone can just fancy around the idea of whether you want to be AI literate or not, but it's an essential part of our being. So that leads me to another question, right? And this question is to you, Vivek, that what skills and leadership qualities would be essential in an AI augmented workforce? And if you could give me some real life examples, that would be really great. So over to you, Vivek.
Sure, Dr. Soumya. Thank you for that. As Purnima was talking about, AI is definitely an essential skill.
Right.
It's no longer a competency or a skill that we are talking about. It has become a strategic imperative, as we call it. I mean, what's a leadership skill? What's
Right.
a leader without AI is what we are talking about. So in that lines, I would say AI literacy is definitely foundational, especially talking about AI and then how the leadership skills, all the existing leadership skills that we really admire and train leaders on, that we learn along the way, some of the lessons the hard way, all of those are definitely going to be very relevant into the future as well. But a few things that we
Right.
want to either highlight or ensure that we do not compromise will definitely include the AI literacy part of it, because they should definitely understand how AI works and what limitations are there as well. It's not just the
Right.
theoretical concept, but the practically, where do I deploy AI? Is that going to be a part of solution that I provide to the customers, or is this something that I'm
Correct.
going to use within learning and development or the HR benefits and policies that I roll out as well? So all that can definitely be the byproduct of a leader's foundational comfort with the overall concept as well. And I know, talking about practical examples, I was referring to the GenAI Academy that we do at Pega, because I come from a learning and development background. I normally look through the lens of learning first before I move to other facets of the HR as well. So we were able to create multiple collections and multiple learning paths, right from enthusiast to practitioner to strategist as well as visionary as well. So depending on where you are in the organization, what are the lenses that you need to use to look at through the AI? A developer or a coder might look at AI differently versus a people manager versus a vice president, or the senior leadership member for that matter. So that's one non-compromisable element, I would say, going forward. The second one is the human related component that again Purnima was talking about. We call that as a human in the loop as well, which talks about the emotional intelligence and the adaptability as well. Because going forward, talk about empathy, the self-awareness, and the adaptability, as the emotional intelligence package, let's say. But that becomes very key to manage the change or the collaboration that she was talking about between the humans and the machines as well, because we want to augment what we do with AI, which means it can't be completely
Correct.
automation like a robot, but it has to be us trying to collaborate with these machines to make that as well. And there are a lot of leadership programs out of the box, they have been leveraging or delivering for a few decades now, that talk about emotional intelligence, and that continues to be one of the key competencies that we won't be able to compromise into the future as well. But specifically, we are talking about AI today. And in that context, I think I should also want to include one of the core competencies that can be the ethical judgment and responsible use of AI. So having that
Yes, I was
competency,
looking for that. I was looking for that. Thank you for bringing that up.
I think
Yes.
it's very important. I think it's very critical,
Yes.
that
Yes.
because it is very exciting, and
Yes.
the possibilities are limitless. We get very
Yes.
convinced and then tempted to leverage AI at everything that we do, which means sometimes we might be able to
Absolutely.
blur the lines. So the challenges that AI brings, typically the biases or the security and privacy related, the transparency or fairness related, all this is something that a leader into the future will definitely should be equipped with as a core competency for us to succeed as organizations in this generation.
So that's a wonderful take, Vivek. So interestingly, while you bring up the ethical component of it, so in what is happening is that I also go and teach in certain B schools. So you give them a project and out comes the chat GPT and all the, such tools, they'll go, they'll, just insert the question, out comes the answer. They go to Grammarly, reformat it. They go to Spinoff, okay? And then they change the entire thing and voila, here is your dissertation right there. And you're scratching your head, bloody, this person never talks in the class, doesn't give a single answer, such a good paper that this person has written. And that's where you are like, oh my goodness, what is this? The second thing that happened in the organization. So this person, we are in gems and jewelry, all right? So most of the time, the language is Gujarati and we have to work with the workforce. So the language is Marathi. That's how we talk. This person, my CEO from US, writes an email, and this person in chaste English has written such a wonderful answer. It left me flabbergasted. I was like, where on earth did you get this Shashi Tharoor in you? I went and I saw that was ChatGPT. And I said, how the hell did you do it? मैडम मैंने कुछ नहीं किया, इधर लिया इधर कॉपी किया, आंसर दिया उधर कॉपी किया. I said, wow, genius. Now, this is where I would say, now, while this sounds, real fun and real easy, when it comes to evaluating someone, and saying that, oh, this guy or this person has done a wonderful job, that's where you see that person is not doing the job. The technology is doing the job for the person, and yet you are rating the person against the technology. And that's where my ethical things for this particular whole thing comes around. And that leaves me always standing midways, whether to adopt and how much to adopt and how much to train the individual. Because today, the generation has become that it's easy, they live on clicks,
True.
thumbs ups and thumbs down, up. Kahin dekh lijiye, 2 thumbs down on there, 1 Instagram reel, and my God, the whole world tumbles, right?
True.
So this is what I was wondering, and thank you for bringing that ethical thing into perspective. That was wonderful. So having said that, I would really still want you and us to have a bit of fun. So here we go. How about having a rapid fire? So starting with Purnima. Purnima, it is just one word each, okay? I'll come to all 3 of you, but 1 word each.
Sure.
The AI tool you cannot live without.
I think Gemini,
Pick one.
Side AI,
Okay.
GPT. I mean, I can give you a list right now. Copilot, Cursor,
Okay.
Notion.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That's a tech Wonder Woman there. Okay. Over to Srinath. Tell me one job that AI should never do.
Empathy. You cannot have robots expressing
love
empathy.
that. Otherwise, you'll have that तेरी बातों में ऐसा उलझा दिया.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Oh yes. And to you, if I come to Vivek, AI in 1 word.
Helping us, augmentation,
Helping us in
Support.
2 words. Support.
Augmentation.
Okay. Amazing.
I have a funny take on that.
Yes, please.
AI sometimes also represent artificial idiots.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. So another one for all of you. So now that Srinath is there on the spotlight, I will start with Srinath. So will AI ever replace the CEO? Yes or no?
No,
Dangerous.
not to the fullest extent. No, it
Oh,
won't.
I almost had Michael Jackson with dangerous. Yeah, please.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't.
It wouldn't? Okay.
It wouldn't.
Okay. Though it has, I've seen one a very, very beautiful looking CEO. I don't know why they always have a woman there, but they've created a woman CEO who was giving a lot of disclosures and lectures on the future strategies of this. But yes, that's happening, and it's very scary. So the glass ceiling is not broken by humans anymore; it's broken by
Yeah.
technology. So then, Purnima, by 2030, what is one thing AI will do better than humans?
Draft emails.
Okay, draft email. I like that. Vivek, what industry will be most disrupted by AI next?
IT, manufacturing, where we have automation possible for that matter. Repetitive tasks are
Awesome.
possible, could be very easy.
Yes, I was going to say manufacturing, and we come from manufacturing setup. So yes, that is going to be this. So which AI is smarter than your phone? So anyone, which AI is smarter than your phone?
It depends on a given day because AI is still evolving. Sometimes it works as expected. When you want to give a demo to a larger group, it definitely finds something to show you wrong or an incorrect result. So yeah, it depends on a given day, on a
Okay,
context.
Applying our
fair
imagination.
enough.
AI is better than AI.
AI applying, right?
Applying our
So
imagination.
since
Yeah? That can still.
Srinath is now the emerging rock star, I would like to ask Srinath, if AI was a celebrity, who do you think it would be?
AI versus a celebrity?
If a, yes, yes.
If AI was a celebrity,
Oh,
I
yes.
would always go with the big B.
Ah! So he says Amitabh Bachchan, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Purnima, would you rather have an AI assistant or a person PA forever?
A personal PA forever.
Yeah. I know Ankita will
A,
also second
a
this.
personal PA who knows to use AI basically.
Right,
That's a good one.
right.
Yeah.
That's a very good one.
Very nice, very nice, very nice. Vivek, if your AI had a name, what would you call it?
We currently have
Vivek,
one
it's
at
your AI, huh?
no, we do
You have
currently
one
have
at home?
one at Pega, and we all leverage that, and
Oh,
we are
I thought you
required to.
have one at home.
We call it Iris. We call it intern Iris. So anytime, anything you need, you drop an email to intern Iris, and it
That
looks.
is what your organization has, Vivek. What if you have it?
I think Iris still looks good. I mean, we are used to that right now. So something that will be easily on your tongue will be a good assistant as well. So I'll go with that.
Nice. Okay, nice. So, Srikanth, if you could ask AI one life question, what would it be?
One live question. I would say, predict my future.
Oh, nice. So, you know what? Incidentally, with this war situation going on and people talking about the nuclear war and all, I was talking to my husband. Hey, where do we hide? Where do we hide? Because our house is made up of glass. So he said, don't you worry. With that amount of heat and the Celsius temperature rising, you just evaporate. So we were actually trying to find a solution to where we can hide and save ourselves if there is a nuclear holocaust. And this man says, no. The last thing, one thing you wish AI could do, but it can't yet. And it is open to all three of you.
Replaces,
Replaces what?
represent us, or stand instead of us in one particular situation or a meeting. Take care of us without
Vivek, you're replacing all of us. Then what is this? You're replacing all of us, yeah.
It can't yet do, but
Okay.
if
It
there
is
is a dream,
replace. Sorry, Vivek. Just to, my take is that it is replacing the task that we do. It is not replacing
All
us.
right.
So basically, it is giving us
All
more
right.
time to
Good
be
one.
efficient. It's giving us more time to be efficient, and I
Awesome.
don't think it can ever replace anyone.
It cannot cry for me.
Nice. So I guess Faisal Bhai is already here, and that's a
Yeah.
signal for us ki, guys, time up. So let's sum it up. And it was such a wonderful discussion. I can't even have enough words to express my gratitude to the amount and the plethora of ideas that you all shared, the amount of knowledge that you all shared, and also the lovely interaction that I had with Srinath, Purnima, and Vivek. Thank you for your wonderful time, for your wonderful take. There were some great takeaways. I love Purnima's take that AI is a revolution. It is giving predictive insights. It's helping in decision making, and it is also personalizing things for us. It is also going to enhance the customer satisfaction and employee satisfaction. And with Srinath, I just loved your your example on employees and insurance and how that predictability came about. AI is the new refinery that you said. Taking it further down from Mr. Ambani's thing. Yes. Then speed and precision is something that you spoke about, and you said that you can become a market ninja if you had, the knowledge of using AI wisely. For Vivek, again, amazing tech take on the subject, which was too technical for a person like me. I'm a novice at technology. I still am, and I'm learning. Thank you for bringing that flavor out. And I loved the 2Pizza share of Amazon and how they are using it, and uses of generative AI for employees, leadership team models, and you have to inbuild a bit of curiosity within the leadership teams. Amazing take on there. And also the ethical point that you touched upon. That is something that we all are fighting day in and day out. Whether it is in the technological world or whether it is in the physical world, we are always looking out for people with ethics, transactions with ethics, and behavior patterns that are full of ethics. So thank you. Thank you for bringing all these points up. It was lovely being your moderator, and I'm today leaving so much more with my knowledge bank kitty almost brimming with, and I'm ready to go and share all that I have learned from all of you with my peers. Thank you so much. Over to you, Faisal Bhai. With this, we come to a closure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Soumya, for making it very lively and interactive. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Vivek. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Soumya, for your outstanding moderation. Your skillful felicitation brought both energy and insight to the session, guiding the conversation with clarity and a strong sense of purpose. You truly elevated the session. Grateful appreciation to Vivek, Purnima, and Srinath for sharing their insightful perspectives and thoughtful contributions. Your time and effort made this session truly impactful. Looking forward to many more enriching and engaging conversations ahead. For those eager to revisit today's insights, the session recording is available on our YouTube link shared in the chat window. A special thanks to our event partners, Geisha, NASSCOM COE, Telgro, TLE, WICCI, LinkedIn Local Ahmedabad, and India for their invaluable support in making this event a success. To learn more about these associations, please refer to the links provided in the chat. We look forward to welcoming you to our next session on the topic DEI Trend or Transformation on June 5th, 2025. With that, we conclude today's webinar. Thank you for being part of this journey. Wishing you good health, positivity, and success until we meet again. Take care and farewell for now.
All right.
Thank you, Dr. Soumya. Thank you,
Thank you
Vivek.
so much.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Awesome
Take
session.
care.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.
Bye.